Sweet.
Right, shall we crack on then?
Yes, mate, I'm up for that. Let's do it.
Beautiful. Right, folks, welcome back to... I'll start that again.
Sorry, buddy, that was my fault.
No, it was me, mate. It was me. I guffed it up. The more I do this, the more mistakes I start to make. You know, like to begin with, it was almost faultless, but now I fuck everything up anyway.
I'm the same, mate. I say and all the time.
I am the same. Right, folks, welcome back to the podcast. This week, we've got JJ from Braw Beard. How you doing, pal?
Good, mate. How are you?
All good, man. All good. All good. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for asking me, man. I'm pretty much appreciated. I've been listening to the shows and I'm loving them. So thank you very much for getting me on.
Awesome. Yeah, it was after you asked me on to do your podcast with Billy Kirkwood, and then obviously
Yes.
Billy came on the podcast and we had a scream and thought, yeah, it'd be a good idea to get you on as well and have a chat with you.
Yeah, no, thanks. I was speaking to Billy earlier. Actually, he's asking for you.
Nice.
I just realised I need to put the Scottish filter on this light I've got next to me. Hang on, 2 seconds. There we go. Tan.
Oh, there you go.
I was a bit blue there.
I wish I was. It's like about 40 degrees in this office at the moment. Jeez.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do you have a tipple for this evening?
I don't, mate. I've got pure caffeine here.
No worries.
I was going to grab a beer, but I never had time. So I'm driving as well.
No bother at all then. Well, tipple of your choice. Slang's
Thanks,
pal.
man. Yep.
Here's to your health.
You too.
Oh, lovely job. Right then, JJ, I don't know if you know how it all goes here. Normally what we do is I post up on my socials and say who the next guest is, and then people have the opportunity to leave their questions and we just go through them. The questions can be absolutely anything. It sort of
That's cool.
proper takes us down the rabbit warren at times. But before we do that, how about I just throw the floor open to you and JJ, you can tell us what's your name, where'd you come from, what you do, and how come you've ended up here?
Sure, man. My name is John. I am the owner and sole operator of Braw Beard, which is a beard care company based in Scotland. We've been going for 9 years now. It'll be this year. It'll be 9 years. And it's a basic beard care business. It was built off the back of me breaking my back in a mountain bike crash. I broke my back in 2011. Started the brand in 2012, and it's just kind of taken off since then. And I've always had an involvement with motorbikes, so that's kind of the reason for sponsoring a few motorcycle riders and stuff. So yeah, and through that we started our own podcast called the Broadcast. That started in 2019, I think, 18 maybe. And just because I'm the only guy that runs Braw Beard, I just never had time to do everything. So I enlisted the help of Billy Kirkwood. He was a Scottish comedian. He was a previous guest of yours. And also we got you on out of the broadcast, and that's where the connection came from. I was aware of TeapotOne before, but just our paths never really crossed. Yeah.
All right.
Seen you on YouTube and stuff. So,
Aye, because you have quite a biking pedigree behind you. Both your mum and dad. Did your mum race as well? I know your dad raced off and on road.
My dad raced. My mum never. She was just a motorcycle enthusiast. She had she had a couple of bikes, but I think the main one she had was an RG125, a Suzuki, I think.
Right. Yeah.
In the 80s.
Wow.
But yeah. So there's a whole story behind that as well. Like my dad used to race road bikes, and then he got into. Well, once I was born, I started doing enduros, the off-road enduros and stuff. So I used to go along and watch him doing that. So yeah, I was riding a motorbike when I was 3. Apparently, there's photos. I've seen photos. But
I've seen them. Yeah.
I was riding a motorbike before I could cycle. So been riding since, which is cool. And
then you said you broke your back. I mean, that was doing mountain biking, wasn't it? That wasn't on a motorbike.
No, that wasn't a motorbike. That was a downhill mountain bike. So
yeah.
Well, I come from a kind of racing family, I guess. Like my dad used to race. My granddad, he was into motorbikes as well. His hero was Jimmy Guthrie from Hoyok back in the pre-war times, I guess. And then my cousins, they race road bikes, race motocross as well. But I just, growing up, I love motorbikes, and I could ride like enduro bikes and stuff for fun. We had dirt bikes in the family and stuff, so I would ride, but I never really had the money to go racing. I was aware how expensive it was, because I seen family members doing it and realizing the costs involved. I was just like, I can't afford to do that. So I started working at 14 at a local go-karting centre, and just saved up money and bought a decent mountain bike. And I thought, fuck it, I'll go race some mountain bikes instead. And started racing downhill mountain biking. Just on the sort of national level, you know, Scottish level. It wasn't
just at the national level. Oh yeah, nothing big.
Well, I say that I never came first or anything. You know, I was always kind of midfield. To be honest, I was better at the enduro stuff, the endurance stuff. So there was an event called the 6-hour endurance race at Fort William. It was a World Cup mountain bike track there. So it was a company called No Fuss Events who put on amazing events. They're just different events, just random style events. So usually in the World Cup at Fort William in the mountain bike and downhill World Cup, it's just one descent on the track, and whoever goes fastest wins. Yeah. But No Fuss came up with this idea. I was like, fuck it, we'll put the event on for 6 hours, see who can do the most laps in 6 hours. Yeah, man, it was insane. So I've been training for a year for that event. I've been training for about a year, and 2 weeks before the race, I was up there practicing. And it's always the same thing. It's always like, we'll do one more lap. And it was that lap. I went over the handlebars into a big rock. There's halfway down the track, there's they've changed it now. It's like a river gap now, but anyone who knows the track, there's a river gap, and then there's a big rock on the right-hand side. It's about 4 foot tall. It's a fucking massive boulder.
Yeah.
And you just scoot around the left-hand side of it. But before that river jump, you used to come further to the left, and it was a big rock garden you go through and past that. Anyway, it was pissing with rain, mega wet, and my front end washed out on the rocks. And I don't know what speed we were doing. I don't know, 15 mile an hour, but it's fast enough on a downhill bike. Over the handlebars, head first into the rock. Took the impact to the top of my head, crushed 2 vertebrae, C7 and T1, which is your last neck and your first back. I say crushed, it was like a wedge fracture, so it didn't actually break to the point needing surgery. It was just wearing a neck brace for months. So yeah, I was training, as I say, for about a year for this race, and I was in hospital. Was in hospital just for one night. Went to the hospital, in fact, and I got a bollocking for the nurses, because that obviously had to take my body armor off and my top and stuff, and got X-rays and said, yeah, it's you know, it's damaged. You're gonna have to stay in. And they're like, how did you get here? And I was like, well, I came in the van. Because when it happened, I took the impact and I heard it crack. You know, you could feel it inside. I could hear it crack. And I was like, right, I've done some damage. So I'm on like my hands and my knees in the middle of the track, thinking, right, move your fingers. I could move my fingers. And I thought, move your toes. Could move my toes. So I was like, cool, that's fine. I knew there was damage done, but I thought if I can move them, I can stand up.
Just don't shake your head.
Exactly. Wow, that's another story. So I stood up, got to the edge of the track. A few of my mates were there. My dad was there as well. They got the bike to the side, and they're like, right, well, we should phone someone. I was like, nah, I reckon if we can get to the fire road, I can ride the bike down to the bottom, because there's a fire road that goes right down.
Yeah.
So I just sat, one foot on, I think it was my right foot on the pedal, my left foot just hanging, just keep my back as straight as possible, not moving my head, and just rolled down so slowly to the bottom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, got to the bottom, went to look for the first aid, and there was, at the time, the first aid person wasn't there. So it's like, you need to go to Bedford. Is it Belford or Bedford Hospital? The one in Fort William. And so I was like, right, fair, we'll go there. So my dad's like, you can't, like, you'll not be able to sit in the van. I was like, fuck, there's a toolbox in the back. I'll just lean over the back of it. And so we drove into the hospital, me hunched over a toolbox in the back of the van.
It was.
Yeah, man. So got in there.
One word, JJ, ambulance.
I know,
you heard
mate,
of them?
I know. Yeah. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. So yeah, we got to the hospital, and the nurse was like, right, how did you get here? And I told her, like, on the back of a toolbox in the back of the van. And she gave me a bollock, and she was like, you should have been airlifted. Jeez. But I was like, imagine getting airlifted. Imagine all that hassle, calling out the helicopter and stuff, getting airlifted and saying that you just got a bruise on your back. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah.
I'm not that person. Like, I'm not that person. So yeah, I got bollocking, and then yeah, it was. And they kept asking me questions as well when they were pushing my back. Like, does that hurt? And I was like, nope. Like, does that hurt? Yes. Like, stop moving your fucking head. So it was just, yeah.
We had when I used to play rugby at school, like secondary school in the academy, we had a lad that played front row there. For the life of me, I can't mind his first name, but he was just known as Tank because he had no neck. He was literally just like head to shoulders. That was like a brute of a boy. But anyway, he'd been playing for months, and then he'd had this a pain in his neck and in his back for ages. And eventually he was just, I think his mom was like, right, just pop down the doctors and have a look. He had a broken neck, but he'd been walking about, never mind walking about, he'd been playing rugby for like 2 or 3 months on the front row with a broken neck.
Oh, that's mad, eh? Well, the thing is that's the thing about, sometimes you feel it's not as bad as it is. Like, I've got a friend as well who raced motocross at a high level. He done the same. He went to the hospital and turned out he had a broken neck. Yeah. Just never knew from a crash. Yeah. But actually, I raced 2 weeks later after doing that. Because it didn't need surgery, I thought it's probably not that bad. It's still, if I'd crashed, it would have hurt. Like, it probably could have been a lot worse.
Just use some deep heat, you'll be fine.
Mate, that's kind of what I done. So we went up to, because the race was only 2 weeks later, right? And as I say, I'd been training all this time for it. So my dad was racing as well. So he went up a week after that crashed, and I says, look, I'll come up with you just in case anything happens. At least someone's there to either phone an ambulance or drive the van. So it went up, and he was doing his laps, and he was fine. And he came down, and I says, look, can I have a shot of your bike just to see how I feel cycling? And he's like, nah, you're not doing it. So I was like, go on, just give me a shot. I'm just going to cycle along the fire road a wee bit. Because the way this race started was it's a mass start, and there's like 120, 130 people in the race. But the way to get to the top of the track is a gondola. So you can't be queuing up for a race to get on a gondola. So what they do is that you cycle up a fire road, which is I think it's about a mile long. And then you enter the track maybe 3/4 of the way down. And then you race down, and that breaks the field up. And then you can start getting on the gondola to the top and race down. Aye. So I thought, I'll cycle up that fire road to that point of the track, just on the fire road, see how I feel. And I felt no bad. So I thought, fuck it, I'll just go down the track. I'm here now. I'll go down the track. So that's what I done. Cycled down, got to the bottom. I was in a wee bit pain. Like, I thought, I reckon I could do this. Like, so I had a conversation with my dad. He wasn't too happy, but I said, like, I'll go up. I'll take my kit. I'll do one lap, see how I feel. If it's hurting and it's stupid, I'll pull off, and I won't. I'll just accept it. And as well, I'd done it one lap. I don't know where I was sitting, but it was maybe 20th or something, and the adrenaline kicked in. I was on painkillers and everything, deep heat in the back. I had that is it kinesio tape, the blue tape that all the rugby players bought?
Oh yeah,
rugby players use. I had that strapping my back up and stuff, and I was wearing a neck brace as well. And I just kept going. And I ended up finishing. I think I finished. The results are on my website somewhere. I think it was 18th out of 135 or something. With
insane. A broken back.
Aye. But I wanted to get top. I wanted to get top 10. That was the whole goal the whole time. So I went back the next year and I got 11th. Just missed the top 10. But
are you still racing now? Do you still race the mountain bikes now? No,
I don't. I've done some races after that. I never really done any downhill races after that because in reflection, it was a bit stupid doing it after the injury. But I've done a couple of enduro races. Just right. I hate cycling uphill. if I'm any kind of rider, I'm a downhill rider, and cycling uphill sucks. So yeah,
my brother's got mad into his mountain biking. Sort of about his mid 40s, he all of a sudden went on this massive fitness drive and got right into mountain biking, downhill mountain biking. His eldest son, my eldest nephew, he's really into it and loves doing these crazy downhill. I think he goes up Fort William and does all that stuff up there. And they live in a wee village called Comrie, and there's a really good mountain bike complex there. So he pretty much lives there. But the reason I'm saying that is my brother has done this. It's this endurance ride up Fort William Way. It's about January, and I think it's 24 hours you've got to just go round and round and round. Have you done it? I can't remember what it's called.
So, well, there's two, right? So, No Fuss Events, like I mentioned, they've got their version, and then there's one at Strath Peffer called the Strath Puffer.
That's it, the Strath Puffer. That's what he's done. Yeah,
that's the more famous one of the two. I think it got a bit of TV coverage and stuff with Guy Martin.
Oh, did it? Right.
Aye. So Strath Puffer, that's one of the good ones to do. I done the No Fuss one, which is 24 hours. Like, Guy Martin done that as well. But 24 hours on the bikes. Did he do it himself on his own?
He did it in a team the first time, and then I think he did it himself the second time. Or he might have. No, I think he might have managed to persuade a pal of his to do it last minute. Yeah.
That's the same as me, right? So we done done it twice at Fort William with the No Fuss event guys. So I done it with three of my mates the first time. Which was, I'm not going to say it was it wasn't easy. It was horrific, right? But it was doable. So the next year, me and one of my mates was like, fuck it, let's do it as a pair.
Yeah.
We reckon we can do it and we'll have a good chance. So, mate, it was the worst thing I've ever done. Honestly, the worst thing I've ever done. The pain cycling uphill and then the pain on your arse was sitting on the seat for that long. It was, also, it was torture. And my mate still slags me about it now. He's like, remember that time we did? Shut up.
You're not going to do it again then?
Never do that. Not, I maybe do it as a 4 again, a team of 4, but not as a pair, honestly.
Aye.
But the Guy Martin was doing
torturous.
It's horrific. Guy Martin was doing it on his own, and I was cycling up, blowing at my arse, and Guy's just like, poof, like I was in reverse. He's a machine, that guy.
He's just on a different level, isn't he? A lot of these racers are, they can just switch off that part of your brain that says no. They just keep
exactly,
going.
Yeah. I'd be happy going back. Sorry.
So breaking your back, how did that then take you into beard oil then? How did that all happen?
So that seems like a strange transition, eh? Well, what it was, man, I've always kind of been into the anatomy. Like, I've always kind of kept myself fit and training and stuff. So I liked it. Like, when I broke my back and I heard the crunch and stuff, I kind of knew what bones it was and stuff. So I could at least tell the guy doing the x-ray, I think it's in this area. So I've always been in the anatomy and stuff. So when that happened, in recovery and so rehab an injury, there was a local physio near to where I am. I went to see him, and after a few sessions he was giving me acupuncture and stuff, and it was working. And I separated my shoulder a couple of times as well, so went to him again, and it kind of helped fix it. So he offered courses. He had this college going, so he could teach the sports physiotherapy and acupuncture, acupressure, and all that kind of stuff. So I signed up to his courses. I just thought, well, I might as well learn it, learn it properly. So one of the first exams you had to do was on the anatomy. So done that, really interested in it. And then just interest grew from there. And one of the massage courses we were doing, we had to make our own massage oils from natural oils, like using base oils and then using essential oils to fragrance it. So I was learning about the benefits from the oils. And at the time, my wife was using hair oil, expensive stuff from the supermarket. So I was like,
so the Scot in you took over.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. So
I can make this.
I've got the ingredients here. I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. So I done it, and it worked. It was it done the job. It was all right.
Right.
And I had a beard at the time, and the beard was pretty shit, to be fair. It was just wiry and dry.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if it works on her hair, it'll probably work on my beard. So I started trying it, and it was okay. It wasn't brilliant because the beard hair is a lot coarser. And it was thicker and coarse than head hair. So I tweaked the recipe a bit, made it a bit heavier weight, and it just seemed to work. It kept it soft, kept the itchiness away, for the helmet strap underneath. You get itchy under there. So it was keeping it irritated. Because sometimes with the, when you shave, sometimes you get a kind of rash, like the red rash.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
Well, maybe if you shave your head or something, I'm the same. But so you're going to get irritation underneath, especially if you're sweating. So after washing, I'd use the oil, put it on the irritated part, and it seemed to soothe it, calm it down. And I just came up with this beard oil, I guess. And I thought it was something new at the time. It turns out there was a company in England doing it. There was a couple in America at the time, but I was the first in Scotland to do it. There was no other beard care brand that I'm aware of, and no one's corrected me since. So
when was that then?
That was 2012, October 2012, I'm sure it was.
That's when I remember, when I left on my trip, that was October 2012. And I remember there just been the startings of whispers about beards and beard oil and all this sort of stuff. And then I grew my beard on my trip, came back, and everybody had beards, and it was just beard stuff everywhere. So it was end of 2014.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, right? Because that's kind of when 2014 is when it kind of exploded. And it became the whole fucking hipster thing. Mate, honestly.
Do you like being called a hipster?
Do I fuck? Mate, like you know the brand. I'm anything but hipster.
Mate, I know.
I'm just a man.
I hate it as well.
But that's why I've done so many blog posts and stuff about the connection between bikes and Braw, you know, like I'm telling my story with my involvement with bikes and stuff, because
Aye.
I used to get so much shit about, oh, you're just using bikes for advertising because it's cool. It's like, no, I've been riding the fucker since I was 3.
Did
know
you?
What I mean? Like, stick me on up. Aye, folk were giving me shit. Like, because we done photo shoots, and we were using, it was an old BSA and a Ducati Cafe Racer.
Right.
And folk were giving me shit, like, oh, you're just using them for posing. I was like, yeah, I can ride them. You know what I mean? I am a biker. But anyway, trolls and stuff. So I forgot where I was going with that.
The start of Braw Beard.
2014. Yeah, so I started in 2012, and then it took ages to kind of get the ball rolling because it was a new product, really.
Mm-hmm.
Beard oil wasn't really a thing, and the whole beard movement was just kind of starting. You had all these old school guys saying, "Oh, I'm not putting that shite in my beard," and then they would try it and think, "Fuck, it's actually decent." You know, it does make a difference. They use shampoo and hair conditioner. Why not use it on your chin? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it started to gain momentum. People were liking it and getting positive feedback and stuff, and it just became a business for there. It started off as a hobby, you know, giving it to friends and family who've got facial hair, and it just seemed to take off. And there was a couple of celebrities got involved, kind of mentioning it and stuff, and then it just kind of took off. And now there's a fucking $1 billion industry on it. You know what I mean? So it's mad.
You said celebrities. Was it not? Mm-hmm. Was it Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit?
Yeah.
It was him, wasn't it? That used it. Mm-hmm. Is that right? How did that come about?
It was via Twitter, of all things. I've been posting on Twitter quite a lot, and I'm sure he liked one of the tweets. His account liked one of the tweets. I was like, that's just a fan account. So I was looking back through it, and I had the blue tick, and I was like, fuck it can't be. Like, I grew up on Limp Bizkit in my teens. I was like, it can't be. So anyway, followed him. He followed me back, and then just started talking, and he was like, yeah, I like the logo and stuff, man. It looks cool. And I was like, well, I'll send you some stuff across if you want. So sent it across, heard nothing for a few weeks. I was like, fuck it. He's either got it and not bothered, or it's lost in the post or whatever. And just one morning I woke up to a tweet, and it was a picture of him with his products. I was like, fucking hell, that's cool.
Mega.
So we kind of established a friendship after that. It was, well, that'd be the end of 2013 that happened, maybe November 2013. And then Limp Bizkit were due to play Glasgow in February 2014. And he says, I'll tell you what, since you sent stuff over, I'll hook you up with tickets for the gig. Come along for sound check and stuff. And this was on this Sunday. And unfortunately, my mum passed away the week before the gig. And the funeral was the day before the gig.
Oh.
So I sat down with my dad. I was like, look, I've got this opportunity to go to Glasgow, meet Fred. Obviously, I'm not in the right mindset for it. I don't, to be perfectly honest, I don't really want to go in the way I'm feeling, because I'll not make the best impression. And my dad's like, fuck it, you only get one chance at these kind of things. Like, when's it going to happen again? And as your mantra goes, live your life. You just get on with it. Yeah. So funeral on Saturday, which was probably the lowest point of my life. And then 24 hours later, one of the highest. I'm saying one of the highest because I got married and I've had a son now since. But, you know what I mean? So within 24 hours is a massive low to a massive high. And yeah, man, it was mad. So we were standing stage at Limp Bizkit gig with the crew, and we ended up sitting backstage with Fred, and we ended up picking the set list as well. He came in with all the songs. I was like, pick some songs, man, we'll play them. I was like, this is fucking mad. And then we ended up going to He invited me and my cousin down to Sonosphere as well, which is a big festival at Donington.
Right.
It was 80,000 fans or something. We were standing inside stage.
Jeez.
Just with that roar. It was insane. And then I think it was October 2014, we were on the phone, and he says, I'm just back for a tour. I think it was Russia they just got back from. He's like, I'm just back. You fancy coming over for a bit? I was like, fuck aye, man.
What, to the States?
Yeah. So went to stay with him at his pad. So 8 hours later, I put the phone down. 8 hours later, I was on a flight to LA. I said, oh, man, mad.
Mint.
I paid for it, and he never paid for it, but I was just like, I'm doing it. Yeah. It's like, so I booked, what happened was I booked the flight, that's happening, and then I realized I'd need to get a visa for America, and it can take like 72 hours to get this visa approved, and I thought, well, by that time, I'm going to be a day in the States, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've applied for it, and luckily it arrived as I was on my way to the airport.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just the electronic, you just get the email saying approved. So
like, yeah.
So yeah, flew to LA and just winging it. Never had a clue if I was going to get picked up at the airport or if he'd even give me the right address or anything like that. It could have went so wrong. Like I was just there myself, and I was like, "Fuck it, just wing it."
Isn't it crazy? Sorry, go on. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay. Apologies.
No, that's all right. I was prepared to have a flight to LA and come straight back. I thought, fuck it, see what happens. Eh?
Definitely. Yeah. And I was just going to say, isn't it crazy how life throws these opportunities at you at times? Like, for example, you can be at your lowest of your low, your mom's just passed away, and then the next thing, just when you think, life is utter shit here, something happens, doesn't it? An opportunity presents itself, like what you just had there, and you go with it, and then it just takes you down another path then, doesn't it? And
it's mad.
It's crazy how all these things, and social media can open the whole world up to you like that, can't it? Like it did with you on Twitter.
Well, that's it. It's like, yeah, it definitely does. And then that opens up so many more opportunities as well. I think I was watching your previous episode earlier today with the hundreds.
Sebastian Terry.
Sebastian, that's it, man. And you were on about I forget the name of it. It's like every seventh person knows someone. What's that thing?
What do they call it? 7 degrees of separation or 5 degrees of separation?
You reckon it's down to now about 3 because of social media and stuff. And I 100% agree with you. It's like everybody I speak to is like, oh, I know him. It's like, fuck me, man. The world is so small.
Definitely. And I think you need to embrace these sort of things. I mean, you got to listen to your spidey senses at the end of the day, don't you? But
yeah,
there has to be if you want certain things to happen in life, there has to be a certain degree of fuck it, let's just run with it and see. You've got to take a calculated risk, a chance. You've got to go for it in life, haven't you? Because at the end of the day, you can sit and have the safe approach and never do anything out of your comfort zone. But who knows what else is out there for you?
That's it, mate. It's 100% agree with that. Like the best advice I was given was get out of your own way, because so many people they're given an opportunity and they go, no, because that might happen, or that might happen, or that might happen. But then that might happen, and that'll change your life.
Aye.
Like we do the Braw Beard Mustache Championships, which is you'll need to come up actually when we get going, but. We do the Braw Beard Mustache Championships, which is our annual event in Glasgow, and it's a beard moustache competition. It's just a laugh, it's a piss up, and it's a beard competition.
I'm up for that.
It sells it every year, man. But we'll get you up as a guest judge or something.
Beautiful. Cheers.
But anyway, so it attracts competitors from all around the world, right? In 2018, I think it was, there was a couple came over. No, 2018, a couple came over from Portland in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And they were at the time their boyfriend and girlfriend, and the guy James messaged me privately before the event and says, look, I'm coming over, I want to propose to my wife on stage, do you mind if I just jump up? When he was in a freestyle competition, the freestyle category, and she's entering the fake beard category. So he says, well, when the fake beard category is on, I'm just going to jump on stage and I'm going to propose, and hopefully she says yes. And I was like, nah, fuck that, we'll set it up properly. Like I'll set it up properly. So we always do a furthest traveled award.
Right.
So whoever's came the furthest, they get the award for the furthest travel. Just a show of appreciation for making the trip. And it usually is somebody from America or Germany, Austria. We've had them. I think Portland, Oregon's the furthest yet. But anyway, I says we'll do the furthest travelled award after the fake beard category. So James has been up in his freestyle category, and then next one was the fake beard category. And I says, well, James, just hang about because we're going to do the furthest travelled awards right after the fake beard. Usually we do it at the end, but I've rejigged it. So I'll get you guys up on stage, present you with the award. I'll give you the microphone. Just, do you want to say the words? And then just let you do your thing. So he got down, got the microphone. Said, it's amazing we've won this award. Thank you very much. And that was something else I wanted to say. Got down on his hands, down on his knee, and proposed to Lorraine. And also she said yes. The place erupted. It made the papers and everything. It was fucking brilliant. So that was that, and that was kind of the first time I met James and Lorraine. And after the event, they hung around for a couple of days, and then they went back to Portland. That was that. And then the Christmas of 2018, just around Christmas, a few days before it or whatever, I woke up to a message saying, "I've got a funny question for you. would you fancy getting ordained and coming across and marrying us? I was like, you fucking serious?
That's so American, isn't it?
Mate, I know. He says, like, we really appreciate what you've done for us in Glasgow for the proposal and stuff. And we just thought it'd be the bikers as well, like total rock and roll lifestyle. And they're like, we'd appreciate if you were able to do this for us. And I was like, fuck it, and they paid for the flight and stuff. And like, come across. So I end up getting ordained, so I could now perform weddings in Oregon. So went over. Me and Elaine, my wife, went over and done it. And mate, it was one of the best holidays we've ever had. It was outdoor at Trillium Lake, which is overlooked by Mount in Oregon. Beautiful part of the world. And we were camping and just camping in the forest. So we done the ceremony and stuff. It was like a party afterwards, fires and stuff. And just camping in the wilderness. It was mad.
Mega. I love that, man. That's mint. I take it, do you keep in touch?
Yeah, we do actually. We do. But they're hoping they can come across at the end of the year. COVID dependent, obviously.
Aye.
But yeah, we do keep in touch, and it'd be good to see them again.
Oh, definitely. How is things up there now? Are you guys all free now? Have you got total unrestricted sort of movement?
I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to tell. It changes all the time, eh? Like,
I know.
We've not had our Freedom Day is like the 9th of August, I think. We're usually a bit behind England. I don't know if there's a reason for that, if it's to see how Boris Johnson's plans work out. And
see if we muck it up or not.
But no, I believe it's like the 9th of August that we get our Freedom Day. But to be honest, mate, folk are just you've got to wear masks in shops and stuff, obviously.
Aye.
Inside. I was at the barber's this morning and I felt so sorry. Like, she's got the gown on, the face masks, the rubber gloves, the goggles and stuff. And it's just...
Oh, man.
It's a nightmare. Like, they're sweating their asses off, but they can't feel anything through the rubber gloves.
No, but at least they're open, aren't they? They're open for business. That's something. God, this last year, I left the old Bill a week. Was it a week or a month? I think it was a week before lockdown last year. Right. And geez, you know, that first year, it was fucking hell. Try and survive it. So hopefully, I think things have picked up now. So hopefully that'll keep going, and yeah, we'll be all right. But yeah, it must have been nerve-wracking for you as well, was it, over lockdown? Or did it affect you much?
Well, at the start, because we never knew what was happening, you know, there was this talk of lockdown that was a wee bit exciting at first, because they're like, this is new. We've never experienced this before. Yeah, it's just history. So there was a wee bit of that, but my wife was pregnant as well. So luckily, we just got the Braw Beard and Mustache Championships in 2020. That was in February. Then the lockdown happened in March, I think.
I think it was March, April maybe. Time, yeah.
So we just missed it. And then my wife had a baby on the 24th of April. And so just after it. And so then when the lockdown happened, I was like, right, I'm going to take 2 weeks off anyway, just to spend with Danny and Elaine and try and work this whole lockdown thing out and see what's happening. And then it kind of started to come out that online business was encouraged. And if you, like, I work myself, I've got no staff or anything. So I'm in this workshop myself. So that was my kind of cue to go back to work, really. It was online business and no staff. So that's what I done. I went back, but only came in like 3 days a week just to reduce travel and stuff like that. So it worked out all right.
Happy days.
Last year was actually pretty good. I think because people were sitting on their phone online shopping, and it gave me a bit of time to stop and reset and like get creative with things again. Because it's easy to get, because you're running the business yourself, it's easy to get stuck in this routine of just like you're just posting out orders all the time and just being reactive. But when things slow down, it gave me time to think and get a bit creative with stuff. So that's how the broadcast came back with Billy. You know, I never had time to do it, so I just reached out to Billy and he's like, fuck it, I'll do that. So, you know, that's off on a different tangent now as well, which is good.
That's been a success as well, isn't it? The broadcast. That was a lot of fun,
man. It is a lot of fun. And that's the whole thing. It's not, we don't have an end goal for it, really. It's just have decent conversations with interesting people. Not everybody's got beards on the podcast. It doesn't really matter. It's, you know, it's just interesting people telling the stories. And that's kind of the way we want to go with it.
Definitely. Same with this one, you know. Same with this one. This isn't just about motorbikes. It's all about the whole live your life ethos. You know, there's people like yourself, people who've gone for it in life, and something's happened, they've made the decision, they've just gone for it. I just love hearing people's stories and chatting with them. I do like a chat.
That's the thing. I was always a shy guy when I was at school. And never the thought of talking to somebody on camera or talking at my phone, or it freaks me out. I hated talking on stage. You have to recite poetry at school and shit like that. I used to hate it. But then just one day, in the end of 2018, I was like, I'm going to start a vlog. Fuck it. For the YouTube channel. Because the YouTube channel was just sitting there doing nothing. And I thought, I'm going to start a vlog. So I just started talking to my camera. I thought, right, now I've got to do something else. So I started recording the day. And that's how the vlog started. And it's now, this week will be episode 240.
Jeez.
It started off as a daily vlog, and that was a bad mistake, because you spend all your time editing and recording.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So I made that a weekly roundup vlog, which it is now. And it works out pretty good. I quite enjoy doing it, but I need to get a decent camera. I just do it on my phone at the moment.
Aye. But I sort of started listening to Casey Neistat years ago, and that sort of got me thinking, I'm going to, because I YouTubed my world trip and then didn't do anything at all for years once I came back. And then I found Casey Neistat, and I loved his, do you know Casey Neistat? His I think he daily vlogged for, was it 5 years he did it for?
Something insane. Like that. It drove him crazy, didn't it?
It did, aye. But I heard a podcast with him recently. He was on Bert Kreischer's podcast, and he was saying that for every minute of content, so every minute of his vid, it started as 3 hours of work, and then he could get it down to 1 hour. So for 1 hour was 1 minute of content. So his vids
and
were generally
about 8 minutes.
Aye, roughly around about 8-9 minutes long, weren't they? And I used to think, how the hell do you get all that into 8 minutes? Because you finish watching it and think that must have been 20 minutes, and it's like 7 minutes, 8 minutes. But that's taken him 8 hours on a good day.
It's insane. And his stuff's all cinematic as well, all different angles, and
amazing.
It takes a lot of time doing it, which is impressive. I've just not got the time for that, but. And nowhere near the quality of Casey Neistat. His stuff really entertaining. It's brilliant.
Love it.
I love his stuff on the electric scooters and electric bikes. He's dicking about in New York.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Is that one in the background? I can see. Is that a skateboard in the background?
Yeah. It's a skateboard made out of whiskey barrel. You can kind of see it. Nice one. Company made this for. They've got the logo on it. It's a longboard.
Oh, brilliant.
Gotcha. And it's made out of whiskey barrel.
I wasn't sure if it was one of those electric boards. I'm going to see you flying around Scotland on it.
You know what I need to get? If anybody's watching that has electric scooters, I need one. I want an electric. So I train at the gym 3 days a week, and it's in the same area as I am now, and I just walk along. But I know I'm going to the gym, but I really want an electric scooter just to buzz along the road. And it'd be class.
Well, if anyone's out there with any contacts, make sure you drop JJ a line.
Yeah, I'll endorse it. I will endorse it. But
right, shall we? Sorry, go on. Apologies, pal.
I was just going to say that they look good funny, the electric scooters.
Do you know, I've never ridden one. I've never even ridden a skateboard.
Have you not?
Nah, never.
That's the thing with long beard. So I've got loads of wee scars on my chin for skateboarding when I was younger, and look, the long beard covers it. So if you grow it long enough, it'll hide the scars.
No, I've never skateboarded. I've never been on roller skates. I've never surfed. Never skied. I need to get out there and live my life, man. God, I need to listen to my own advice.
I know. I've heard that somewhere. Live your life.
I know.
Have you ever had a shot on an electric motorbike?
Yes. Yeah. I have. I've done a few reviews on them now.
Have you?
Mate, honestly, I really enjoy them. I think they're damn good. The ones I've tried, anyway. I've tried the Zero and the Energica and the Harley, the live wire.
Right, okay. I've never had a shot at a road one. I've had a shot at the motocross ones, the KTMs.
Aye,
which are brilliant fun.
Yeah.
But I've never had a shot at a road one. I remember I was speaking to Lee Johnston there. Lee Johnston at he was racing the Mugen at the TT. And he said it was like in a Zero. He said it was like sitting on the wing of a jet fighter because usually when you take off on the start line on a bike or whatever, the front end wants to come up. So you got to fight it to keep the front end down from wheeling. But the electric bikes are so heavy, they won't wheelie. There's no chance of them wheeling, so they just go direct forward. So it says it was like sitting on the wing of a jet fighter, just instant power.
See, now they can wheelie electric bikes. Like Energica,
Really?
Energica have, in their PR shots anyway, with their stunt riders, they've got folk there, riders that are wheeling their road Energica bikes. And I just think,
man.
Jesus, that's
There'd
good
be some
going.
weight in
And
them.
apparently they will do it. I mean, they've got like 200 and, I think the Energica's 220 or 230 odd Newton meters of torque, which is phenomenal in a bike.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. But they're a lot of fun. Well worth trying if you can.
Yeah, I bet.
Right, shall we crack on? I've just realised we're nearly 45 minutes in here, and we've not even started the questions.
That's all right. My son's away to bed now. It's cool.
All right, cool. Right, we'll crack on with questions then. We'll head across to the clan over on Patreon. So it's patreon.com/TeapotOne. First one, Pete English. Oh, here we go, Old Faithful. Hi guys, hope you're both fitting well. My question: we all use and rely so much on modern technology, but if you could change 3 things about social media, what would they be?
All right. I'm trying to think of 3 things, but one thing I think which would benefit a lot of people would be an ID to have a social media account, because there's so many fucking trolls out there that bully people. You know what I mean? It's bully people and harass people. But if you had an ID card, if you had to have an ID card to register, so it's your real name, like I think there'd be a lot less trolls online. Because there's a lot of keyboard warriors, but they wouldn't say it to people's faces. And if
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Another 2, I'm not sure.
Do you get many trolls then?
I used to,
the brand?
and I used to, when the whole hipster phase, when that was about, I used to get a lot of shit about hipsters and like, what are you going to do when the trend dies? And it's like, if you look at my audience, for bikers, rock and roll, tattoo artists, it's like we've had beards for decades. You know what I mean? We're not here for the trend.
It's almost like people, those sort of trolls, they get a kick out of putting you down, don't they? It's like, I don't understand the mentality in people that they seem to take some sort of perverse enjoyment. They get a thrill out of slagging off other people. I don't get it. And as you said, they'll never, ever, ever say that to your face.
No, not at all. And it's sometimes it's the same people who are sharing these anti-bullying and be kind messages, you know. Like Caroline Flack, when she committed suicide and there was a whole be kind campaign. It's the same people who are sharing. Well, I'm not saying the same people, but they will also share that message. But you know what I mean? It's
virtual signal.
Fucked up. Exactly. Yeah. So
another 2 things then.
So what was the question I gave? Was to change technology.
If you could change 3 things about social media, what would they be?
All right. That would be the main one. Oh man, that's tricky. See, the thing is with social media, I try and stay off it as much as possible. Like, I don't get any shit anymore, really. And if I do, my skin's that thick now. I just forget it, you know. But I try.
I find it annoying. I find it annoying on social media, and this is pure jealousy on my part, that the algorithm is triggered or people react to, you know, like good-looking lads and lassies, provocative stuff, or, you know, beautiful, well-taken pictures, art in a photograph. That really hacks me off because A, I'm fat, bald and ugly, and B, I can't take a good picture to save myself. So I'm just like, you know, I'm one of these people that can stand next to someone, I'll take a picture, and the person next to me will take a picture of the same thing, and theirs is just like, that is stunning. Phenomenal. That is unbelievable. And mine's just shit, you know?
I know the algorithm is a pain in the ass. Like, you can, you know what, you'll know yourself, you can be working your ass off putting all this free content out, and you don't get the attention on it that you think it deserves. I'm not saying it deserves it, that's, you know, self-gratification, but you put a lot of effort into it, and like you just wish more people would see it. But then you got to remember as well, you're playing in their house, you know, you're posting up on Facebook for free. If you want it to see, if you want more people to see it, you pay for it. So I understand how the algorithm is there as well. But
and the way I look at it is that, okay, you know, I'll put a lot of work into videos and my content, but I'm obviously not I'm obviously not doing the thing that is going to trigger people. It is going to grab people's attention and get that click. You know, I try not to do clickbait. I've done the odd little wee sort of clickbaity type thumb, and it blooming works. You know, people click on that sort of stuff, but it's just annoying. You know, you think, oh, can you not just watch it and tell me if you like it or not? You know,
exactly.
just to get the view.
Well, that's it. Get the view and get the feedback as well. Like people could just watch it and then say, right, maybe you should do less of that or more of that. Or...
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a process, isn't it? It's just constant putting the content out there. It gains momentum. That's what I found anyway. Just keep plugging away at it, and it gains momentum slowly.
Definitely.
Unless you're willing to get your tits out, but I'm not willing to do that.
I did that. I actually did it in. Over the winter, I was doing a review for some heated gloves, and I started the video naked out in my back garden where it's peeing with snow. Yeah, it was all snow everywhere, and I think I was just stood there hudding my nuts with these heated gloves. I think it got less views than normal.
Did the heated gloves work though?
No.
Okay.
My missus still never noticed anyway, but never mind. Right, a third thing. I can't think of a third thing, can you?
I think either, man. I know what's going to happen. As soon as we finish this, I'll think of something, but
I
do apologise for being shit.
Good question, Pete. Cheers for that, pal. Next one, Matt Sheen. Hello, you pair of big beardy bastards. Question: what should us beard-wearing gentlemen be looking for when it comes to beard products? I personally get loads of promotional stuff from places like the Beard Struggle, but without knowing what to look for, it all seems like overpriced rubbish. Keep up the good work, both. So what do people need to look out for the beards?
Oh, thanks for the question. That's a good question. So yeah, there is a lot of shit on the market. There's a lot of big manufacturers jumped on the bandwagon now, obviously pumping it full of chemicals for it to sit on the shelf in a supermarket. You know, they put preservatives in it to extend the shelf life so it can sit in the supermarket for a couple of years or whatever. But there's a lot of small brands on the market now who make natural products. Like I got a couple here, but the beard oil is 100% natural, you know, and I make it myself and have done for 9 years. So there's a lot of small manufacturers out there that use natural products, which is they're going to get the best results from it. You know, it keeps it hydrated and moisturized and soft, keeps itchiness away, that kind of thing. And it does have a shelf life. You know, I say it's from opening 6 months, it's at its best. It'll last 12 months from opening, but the scent starts to dissipate a wee bit. You know, it's natural plant oils it's made from.
Right.
So yeah, I would say that just look for natural products. There's less chance. You know, people have got sensitive skin, so there's less chance of having a breakout if it's natural products. And buy from a reputable company. The best thing to do is like on Braw Beard's website, brawbeard.com. There's all the products are there, and they've all got customer reviews as well. So you can look through the reviews and see what other people are saying about it. Because the other thing is, because it's made of natural ingredients, it's not necessarily like 100% safe. Because there's certain essential oils that if you use too much of it, if you use too high a ratio, it can actually burn the skin. So, you know, I learned that in that massage course, the different ratios that you can use. It's like mixing two-stroke oil, you know what I mean? Like two-stroke and petrol. There is a ratio to it, and getting it right takes a bit of skill. So there are some companies like that will just pop up and they just chuck loads of like essential oils into fragrance it, and it's overpowering, but it can actually damage the skin as well. So do some research on small brands that use natural products. But the other thing is, like, to sell on the market, you need to be safety assessed. You need to send the product off, and the breakdown of all the ingredients off to get assessed to a lab. They give you a safety assessment back telling you if it's safe or not. If it is safe, obviously you can sell it to the public. You need to get insurance, and you can't get insurance if you've not got the safety assessments. Right. So you go down the rabbit hole with it. But if you're looking for a reputable company, they will have the safety assessments. They will have insurance.
Gotcha. There's no way of me saying this without sounding like I'm sucking your wallopy here, but you sent me a couple of your you sent me a bottle of your beard oil and a bottle of your beard wash, and I've been trying it for probably 2 months now, I would think. Now this is from Mrs. Teapot. This is Mrs. Teapot said to me. She said to me about 2 weeks into it, she said, are you using something different on your beard? And I said, why is that? And she said, because it's much softer and it smells nicer.
Thanks very much.
Boom.
Thank you. There you go.
That is from Mrs. Teapot, not so,
Yeah.
And I definitely have noticed it's not
good,
wiry.
Man.
Thank you. Thank you. It was really wiry, and it's just not wiry now.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of other brands out there that they use the wrong ratio, and it does. It maybe smells nice, but it's still wiry and like straw, and you catch your fingers in it and stuff.
Aye.
But I just seem I got the ratio right with Braw. Obviously, there is as I said before, there's a skill to it. It took a lot of trial and error, but I'm happy with the ratio and happy with the recipe, and it seems to work. People like it, so
I found it's not as brittle anymore. It's like it used to be. If I ran my fingers through my beard, I'd come away with a big hairy hand. Whereas now it's nowhere like that.
Yeah, you'll always lose a couple of hairs. Like when you brush, you get some hairs come out, but that's just natural. You shed, I think it's about 150 hairs a day or something.
A day?
But it's something like that. About 100. I'm sure it's between 100 and 150 hairs per day or something. Most of it you'll never notice because you're walking about and it'll just drop off because they reach the telogen stage where it's falling out. And it's getting replaced.
Is it true that a beard will have like a terminal length where it's just not going to get any longer? Is that true?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, the hair strand goes to a terminal length.
Right.
But as far as I'm aware, all the hairs have got different terminal lengths. It's not like you get to a certain length and they all decide to stop. You know what I mean? They're recycling all the time. So if a hair falls out, there's a good chance it's being pushed out by another hair that's coming. It's just like your skin. When you shed your skin cells, there's just replenishing.
I had a nightmare about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. See, these parts of my beard at the side here, they grow really quick. Those bits at the side, and it was literally out to about here, and I was, trying to comb everything down here. And I want the length here. So my beard was actually, try and get in the camera. My beard was probably about there, and I started trimming here, and then thought, I just need to tidy this up a little bit. Yeah. And you know what happened? I ended up chopping about 2 inches off my bloody beard. It was a nightmare.
I know, man. I've done that in the past, but now I go to the barbers. I'm just like, fuck it, get somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody else that knows what they're doing.
I don't know any sort of beard barbers around where I live, because I used to work in London, so I just went to some of the London hipstery ones, I suppose. Yeah. And basically said, please don't make me look like a hipster. But now I'm not in London anymore. I need to find a beard barber in Kent. So is anyone out there that can recommend a beard barber in Kent, please let me know.
I know. I don't know any that way, but if I hear of any, or I'll do some research and let you know.
Job. Cheers, man.
No problem.
Right, next one. Mark Fulcher. Help me, ducks. So a couple of questions for you both today. One, I'm asking for a friend. Oh, here we go. Are Braw Beard releasing a new product range focused on the gentleman who likes to adopt the unkempt au natural look in the nether regions? Beards are pretty much face pubes, so I'd imagine it falls into the same category.
Well,
you're going to do bollock oil?
No, we'll see. I was going to call it Braw Beard Oil.
Braw Beard.
Let's take it there. No, we've had that question quite often, to be fair, and I've had that question from a lot of females about it as well. If it works on their pubes, and I've never tried it, but it will work. It will work. The first time I got asked it was by a female, and she emailed in asking, and I said, you know what, I'm going to send this to my safety assessor and see what they say. It's like, I know what the answer will be. I know the answer will be yes, it works, but I'm going to send it just so I've got the official answer.
Yeah.
So my chemist came back and said, yeah, it'll work fine. It's just, it's not, because the beard oil also works on the skin as a moisturizer as well. It keeps it moisturized there. So there's no issue with it being on the skin. There's no issue with it being on the hair. Pubes is just like beard hair anyway. So yeah, it works. So there's no point in releasing a separate range. There's other companies that do that.
But that's great branding, though. Braw Beard. That's brilliant.
Braw Beard.
You got to do it.
I might do it for April Fools or something.
There you go, Fulch. You've heard it here, mate. Get yourself a bottle.
You'll
be floating along on a cloud before you know it.
If you want a custom bottle, I can score it that R for Braw Beard Oil.
Nice. Next one, Mark's got a second question. Not that I've noticed, but the recent sunshine always seems to encourage the female species to sport smaller and smaller outfits. Generally behind a tinted visor, this is normally always an encouraging sight. However, there are the ones that end up looking like Bruce in a skin-tight frock. What's the worst that you've seen out and about in the recent days?
Watch what I'm saying, man.
I know.
Well, see, to be honest, I mean, where the office is in a seaside town, right? So in Scotland, you know what it's like. As soon as it hits double digits, 10 degrees, it taps off.
I was going to say that taps off.
And you see a lot of junkies and Neds or chavs walking about with their tops off, and it's not a pretty sight, man. It's like this kind of translucent blue skin, you know, nice. The sun's bouncing off it. You need to wear tinted lenses just to protect your eyes for the reflection, but that's about it, really.
I'm not commenting on that one, Fulcher, because I work from home, mate. So Mrs. Teapot would give me belters if I said anything. So we'll keep them there. Fulcher says, "Keep up the good work, gents. Love the Braw Boys branding and what they're doing in the industry. Shiny side up."
Thank you very much. Fulcher. Much appreciated.
Next one, Joe Hicks. "Hi, Bruce. I trust you're both well. My question is beard maintenance. How long do you guys take to groom your beard every day, or do you leave it for a once a week tidy up?"
Personally, I do it every morning, but it takes me 5 minutes. Yeah. So I use like Braw Beard wash in the shower. This is the shampoo.
That's the stuff, yeah.
That's the stuff you were talking about. So I use that in the shower. At the moment, just with the hot weather, I use it every day. Usually I'd wash every second day.
Yeah, I'm about every second, yeah.
Aye. But just for the sweating and stuff, I just every day. So, and then beard oil every day as well. And I've got this beard butter as well. So beard butter is a kind of balm. I've got some here. It's a wax. It's kind of a solid state product there. But you scoop it out. You scoop it out and then it melts down to an oil and you apply that. And once it's applied, it sets slightly so it kind of maintains shape.
Okay.
So it holds its shape. So that's a kind of wax-based product. So I use the beard oil every day. If I'm not training in the gym, I'll use the beard butter as well. Mm-hmm. If I'm training in the gym, I just tie it up just so it's not getting caught in the equipment and stuff. But yeah, every morning, it takes me 5 minutes. It's basically wash in the shower, towel dry the beard when I come out, put a bit of beard oil on, comb it through, and then generally I'm good to go. If I'm using butter, put a wee bit on and then brush it, and that's it.
Yeah. So you brush, once you've put the beard butter on, you brush it then? Yeah,
so
not a comb.
The reason for the way I do it is beard oil first, and then I use a comb. I don't actually have a comb or a brush here, but the comb, I've got the kind of wide teeth spacing on the comb. You know, like a hair comb, it's really fine teeth spacing. On the beard comb, it's a bit wider and thicker. So it acts as a detangler. It basically detangles the hair to get rid of snacks and stuff. When you use the beard oil first, it lets the comb, it acts like a loop to let the comb glide through with it tugging.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then the beard butter, because it's a wax-based product, a bit thicker. Once that's applied, although it's applied like an oil, it's still a bit more dense. You use the brush, and the brush has got like thousands of bristles on it, so that evenly distributes the product throughout the beard. You know, if you're brushing, it evenly distributes it, so that then the butter adds a bit of volume to the beard as well, because it kind of, you know, the wax element just holds the hairs in place, so you can add more volume to your beard as well.
The beard butter, is that just the moustache sort of wax that people use?
No, we do have moustache wax as well, which is really designed for styling the moustache. Yeah. The stuff we have isn't extra strong. You do get extra strong stuff, so you can do all the twirls. Ours isn't like that. It's just enough to style it a wee bit. But the beard butter is, I use it. I used to use it to trade my moustache, so my moustache points out to the sides. Whereas before it would just be in like that, and you'd be chewing on it and stuff
all the time. It does my nutting. Yeah.
Well, if you use the beard butter every morning and brush it, you can eventually train it to point out. Right.
Can I chew it? I sit there chewing all the time.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Once it gets a certain length, you can just kind of point out the way.
Gotcha.
But my beard it used to separate in the middle as well, really bad.
Yeah.
Again, what I was talking about with scars on my chin, the hair doesn't grow at some bits, but with the beard butter, you can just kind of pull it back into shape.
Gotcha.
and it kind of holds
Right,
its shape.
Gonna have to acquire some of that. Right, nice one. Yeah, cheers, Joe. Now you know, pal. Now you know.
Thank you.
Right, how long have you been growing a beard then? How long have you had the beard on the go?
This current length is fucking hell, it's massive. This current length is probably about 5 years long, but I've been growing a beard since I was like 15, 16. It was very shit back then. Like, if you look at the blog post where it's a kind of story of Braw Beard, there's a photo of me when I broke my back, and it was the morning of the race that I'd done with a broken back. I've got a beard in that as well, and you can see it's so wiry because that was before I started Braw Beard, and it was just horrendous.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I've always kind of had facial hair of sorts. I've had big sideburns and then the old porn moustache and stuff like that. Just messed about with facial hair, really. This is the best it's been, though.
I had the Mexican tash for a while. That's what I used to have. Yeah, I had that for quite a while. God, yeah. Right, that's all the ones over on Patreon. If we fire across, there were loads of ones on Instagram, but it was just loads of people going, awesome beard, can't wait for this one. So across onto Facebook, so that's just facebook.com/TeapotOne. John 2 or Chew. Morning, guys. Great to hear about this next podcast. As a fellow bearded biker, my questions would be: 1, what's his recommended beard regime in the morning? Wash, balm, blow dry, wax, or natural dry? We just covered that, John.
Yeah.
Number 2, let me see more. How would he stop a long beard from becoming an absolute mess on the bike? Mine looks like starlings are hatching out it whenever I take my lid off after a ride.
Yeah, man, I can relate to that. Like, because I took a Triumph bobber for a spin one time a couple of years ago, and my beard just split in the middle and it was flapping over the back.
And you're not a hipster,
mate. What does it? No, right. So the story behind it is Triumph Glasgow were stocking my products, the one in Hillington, in Glasgow, and my van was in getting wrapped, getting new graphics on it, and it was just around the corner for Triumph, and I made a good relationship with the guys at Triumph. So they say, look, while the van's in getting wrapped, bring your helmet and your kit, and you can take any bike you want for a spin. And I thought, well, I don't really see myself buying a bobber, you know, the bobber, the 1200, I think it is. I don't really see myself buying one of them. I really want the street triple at some point. But anyway, so I thought I'll take the bobber for a spin just to see what it's like. And it was awesome, man. It was awesome in a straight line. It wasn't very good in the corners, but
gotcha.
But yeah, the beard was flapping about. So what I recommend for that is I always use beard oil in the morning anyway, and that kind of keeps it soft and, you know, kind of maintained. But if I am ever on a bike or that, and I need to pull my beard back into shape, the beard butter is the stuff for that. Like I just showed you, you know, the beard forks in the middle, and you can generally pull it back in. If the beard butter's in there, you can pull it back into shape and you get off the bike. And you take a brush with you, the pocket-sized brush or a comb, and just, you might look a wee bit of dick if you stopped at the service station. Your mates are fueling up and you sit with your comb if you want, but it is what it is. You've got hair on your chin, so the best
it's
way
just
to
beard
maintain
envy. It's all it is. It'll just be beard envy from people that can't grow a beard.
Yeah, but the amount of my guys that go about with a comb in their pocket and a wee tin of beard butter, and it's perfect because if you're going to ride somewhere and you stop for food, you didn't want to look like a starling's nest. You know, you just a wee bit beard butter on, go to the toilet, put a bit on, comb it back into shape, and you're laughing.
I always look like I've been struck by lightning when I take my lid off. The beard's just everywhere, especially like during the summer because I'm not wearing a neck buff. Like the winter, you wear one of those buff things, but in the summer, like my beard separates like that, and it's all over the place when I take my lid off.
I've got these just a hair tie as well. You know, just a hair tie. I keep it on my wrist. So anytime like I'm in the gym or on a bike or that, I just tie it up.
Just tie it together.
If you put it loose, you know, just a loose loop, you don't get a big kink in your beard. So you can always do that if you're on the bike. Gotcha. Depending on how long his beard is, you know, you can maybe get a couple of loops in it or something.
You're saying there about Triumphs. Have you heard of Thornton 100 motorcycles?
No.
They came, Jody, who owns it, he came on the podcast a month or so ago. He basically exclusively deals with Triumph now, but he makes custom Triumphs. So you'll buy a brand new Triumph motorbike and then he totally customizes it. And he's like put a back tire on the front and modified it, and he's done all sorts of stuff. They're beautiful looking bikes. They really are. It's called Thornton 100. Yeah, right. You have a look at them.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look at that after this. I don't have a road bike at the moment. I've just I've no time, and B, I've just no time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've no time to have a road bike. I've got a trials motorcycle. Like I do a bit trials now and again, which is good fun. But I've got the van, so I kind of need the van for day to day. So just drive about in that. But I would like to get another bike at some point, and it probably would be a Triumph. You've
got a fair amount on your plate, haven't you? So
I do, I do.
Yeah. How's wee Danny doing? Your wee boy.
He's good, man. He's good. He's 15 months now, and he's finding his voice, so he's just shouting all the time. But not words, just noise, like just pointing at stuff and shouting. But we took him up to Knock Hill a few weeks ago.
Brilliant.
Jamie Coward. I'm getting my left and right mixed up there.
Yeah.
Jamie Coward was up there racing, so we took Danny up, and it was his first time at the bikes. Got him the ear defenders and stuff, and he loved it. And it was amazing when we met Jamie at the gate. He was like, "Oh, I've got a present for you, Danny," and then we walked down, and Jamie gave him his trophy that he had won for the race, which was really cool.
Mega.
So that's in the helmet cabinet at home, which is really cool.
Brilliant.
So Danny loved it. I wanted to introduce him to bike racing. Like he's seen me watching it on TV, but he's not got a clue what's going on. But I thought if he's there and sees the bikes and he's in the paddock and stuff, that's kind of how I was brought up. You know, just dicking about the paddock at East Fortune and Knockhill, and got into bikes that way. So I'm hoping it's the same for him.
You know, this is going to be expensive. You know that, John, don't you?
We've been speaking about this. Me and my wife have been speaking about this. I'm going to push him away from motorcycle racing, and push him away for dirt bikes in general. But hopefully get him into mountain biking or even trials. You know, like I really enjoy trials, and I don't know. I kind of wish I'd done it when I was younger as well. We'll see. There's a lot of electric trials bikes that are pretty decent. You know, beyond set bikes and stuff. So
yeah, that's right.
He's only 15 months. I'm getting a wee bit ahead of myself here, but he needs a balance.
Never too early. Never too early to start. Talking of racing, how did Lee Johnston and Jamie Coward, how did that come about, the relationship you've got with those lads?
Well, I've been sponsoring, like I had Brooke McDonald, who's a downhill mountain biker, sponsoring him. He's on the world scene. Well, I was going to say at a high level, he's like races in the world championships for downhill mountain biking. And the caliber of my athletes that I sponsor were just getting higher and higher and higher. Like we're sponsoring professional ice hockey players and stuff like that. And I wanted to get into motorcycle racing because that's my kind of bread and my background, you know?
Yeah.
Or my family's background. So it was a way of me staying in touch with the motorcycle world and the racing scene and kind of giving back to it in a way. So I was looking for a rider, and I was aware of Lee Johnston, you know, just his character. And he wasn't as well known then as he is now.
Aye.
So I reached out to him. He had a wee bit of beard at the time, so I reached out and I was like, how do you fancy working together? So we came up with a wee deal, and that was probably 6 years ago, and we've worked together ever since. It's become a really good relationship. And then a year after, I was down at Scarborough at Oliver's Mount, and I was there with my dad. My mum had passed away at this point, so me and my dad were just going to different events and stuff. So we went to Scarborough. That's where he used to go to watch as well. So my dad said, you might want to check out this guy, Jamie Coward, just a young up-and-coming guy. So we're walking through the paddock, and right enough, we just bumped into Jamie and his team, and his mum was his manager at the time. So we're starting chatting for a bit, and he was like, I know your brand, you sponsor Lee and stuff like that. And it was just friendly chat. And then, I don't know, maybe a week later, I got an email from his mum just saying, would you be interested in sponsoring Jamie? And at the time, I couldn't really do much, and I never had the capacity to sponsor two riders. So we kind of worked a wee deal out there, and then just over time, it started to develop. So yeah, Jamie and Lee, and there's also Lewis Rollo, who races in the Superstock Thousands in the BSB.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But there's a kind of family connection there with Lewis Rollo. I've helped him since he was like 11-year-old. So
right,
it was just a way of keeping him involved, and you know, keeping me involved with him. So, but yeah, so that's how Lee and Jamie came on the scene, and it's just a way of me staying in touch with the Isle of Man TT, road racing, which is where I would go there on my holidays as a kid. Every year we'd go to the TT. That was our holiday. You know, I never went abroad until I was 15 or something.
You've been to the TT like over 20 times, haven't you?
Yeah, it's so I'm 30. What age am I? 37, I think now, and I genuinely. What year is this? 2021.
21.
I'm 37.
What year is this?
I'm 37. I was born in 84. I think I've been there more times than I've not. I've probably been there mid-20s, 25, 26, something like that.
Wow.
Times.
Jesus.
It worked out all right because my parents were going since they were in their 20s. And then when I was in my mum's belly, we were going. Apparently, I was there. And then when I was born, I was there. I'd probably be 6 months, 5-6 months old when I was there.
Right.
And just every year after that. And that was our annual holiday. And then met my girlfriend, who's now my wife. Her mum moved over there about 10 years ago and stayed at Crosby.
Handy.
So handy. Like, no, that's handy. And she stayed at Crosby. She was just right behind the Crosby Inn.
Beautiful.
So we just go down for a few pints and stand there, watch the race. And my brother-in-law, Elaine's brother, he's still over there. He moved over as well. But we've not been able to get over because of COVID. So he's still not met Danny. So we're hoping we can get across at the end of this year to introduce them.
Are you going for the TT next year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mate, I'll see you there. I'll grab a beer
Are you
with
going,
you. I've had tickets for the last 2 years, and obviously it's not happened. So they've just been put forward to next year. So yeah, we're camping. I can't remember what campsite I'm in. Mark Fulcher that left the question about Braw Beard. Braw Beard Oil. Braw Oil. Aye. I'm going with him and his dad and a mate of theirs. So
Have you been
should
before?
be a good giggle. I've done it once. I did it. The last stage of my round the world trip was to the Isle of Man for the TT.
Oh, tidy. So, what year would that? That'd be 2014 then.
Aye, it was. Aye, yeah.
Nice, man.
So that's the only time I've been. Loved it.
Oh, it's something else. It's when are you going? I'm going in practice week.
Do you know? I don't know. I'd need. It'll be race week, I'd imagine. Well, I think we'll probably go and grab the last couple of days of practice, I'd imagine, unless we're going for the 2 weeks. I don't know. I should know these things. I don't know.
We'll work it out and maybe meet up with you over there because we've got quite a few customers in the Brotherhood that are over there. So we usually do like a pop-up shop or something like that.
Oh, cool, man.
Done that last couple of it's good fun, man. The TT's good.
Loved it. It gave me a newfound appreciation and respect for those road racers because, you know, as a biker, we all like a bit of speed. We all think we're quick, and then you go and you see those folk flying, but like bottom of Bray Hill when they come by on Bray Hill. Yeah. Jesus, that was like a reality check. Holy fuck. Wow.
There was also rumours that they go like 95%. They fucking don't. They 100%. You know what I mean? Every rider I've spoke to, like, no, it's flat out. You know what I mean? We're not holding back. Like, they can hold back. Look at Hickman and Dean Harrison.
The thing though, isn't it? Sorry, go on. Apologies.
No, I was just going to say they're breaking the lap records. So you can't be holding back if you're breaking lap records. You know what I mean? But
then when you speak to them, like I had Hickman on the podcast here, or you know, one of the first guests actually, and he's such a chilled out bloke.
Yeah,
I mean, he looks like if you lit a match under his arse, he wouldn't really get that excited about it. You know, he's just so laid back about stuff.
Yeah, I was speaking to Jamie as well, and it's like just the speeds are insane. He's like, it's weird it doesn't feel that fast when you're on the bike.
Yeah,
I suppose it's because you're that focused and you're just looking at the next corner. You're looking at the next corner. But for us, when they zip past you at 200, about 180 mile an hour, like, holy shit, you're doing that the whole way around the track.
Aye, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's...
Have you...
Sorry.
So go on. Sorry, it's the delay.
I was just going to say, like, they're flat out that mount for, 17 minutes times 6 on senior race day, and they're doing 6 laps. That's a long... It's 2 hours. You know what I mean? 2 hours flat out. It's crazy.
Have you ever gone that sort of speed, like 186 mile an hour pinned on a road bike? I've done it a couple of times on a private track, obviously in France, and you know, you're probably doing that for seconds, you know, a couple of seconds, maybe long enough for you to look down and go, holy shit, and then roll off. And the thought of being able to not only hang on for that length of time, but to actually like judge a corner and ride round corners and dips in the road and bumps at that speed is just phenomenal.
It's mental,
just a different league. So the whole racer sponsoring thing, that's now paid off, isn't it? Because those two boys are now featured in 2 computer games, aren't they? Worldwide computer games.
Yeah, the TT, right? Is it Ride on the Edge game?
I think it is,
Close to the Edge was the film. Ride on the Edge is the game. So, oh man, I think it was at the Ulster Grand Prix. We had a stand at the Ulster Grand Prix, and Jamie came up to me and says, "Oh, I'm going to be in a game." I said, "Fucking what?" So yeah, we're going to be in the PlayStation game. So he says to me, have you got your camera here? Because they need to take pictures of the helmet. And it so happened, right? The graphics or the outfit they were using for Jamie was the first year we worked with them. So it was a tiny wee sticker on the side of the helmet. So, and Jamie came up and says, look, the developers need high-def photos of the helmet. Can you help me out? And luckily, this was the new helmet, which is that one.
Gotcha.
You see,
nice.
So it's got the massive logo on the side. So it's fucking tidy. So I got my camera. So we took the photo, sent them off to the developers. So the helmet and the leathers don't match in reality because it's the new helmet, old leathers. That was in the first game. And it was just mega. Seeing it in a computer game. You know, I was like, it's in there forever. And then they'd done the second game, and Lee Johnston was in that one, wearing this hat in his profile picture. And Jamie was wearing a different hat, another Braw Beard hat. And it's just amazing. Yeah.
So
very cool.
Where's the plans then for Braw Beard? What's your plans? World domination? Eventually,
yeah. Eventually. Also, Brexit thrown a whole spanner in the works with fucking exporting and stuff. So, UK business is going well. The plan is to get deeper into Europe and America, concentrate on America a bit more. Get some staff members because I am at capacity. I started a university course fucking 2 years ago as well.
What's that doing?
Business management.
Oh, wow.
So as you know, the business started off an accident. It was just a total accident, and it just kind of gained momentum faster than I was understanding the business, I guess. I'm not a businessman. I was a graphic designer before, so I don't really have any business experience. So I just made it up as I went along. And it seemed to work out all right. But I was given the opportunity to do a business management degree at university, a local university. That was in 2018. And basically, I was offered it as just because it's a graduate apprenticeship. So basically, it's a course aimed at employers for an employee. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's like educate the employee in business to help grow the actual company. Gotcha. So I'm the first person to do it as a business owner. And they were a bit hesitant at first, and I was like, well, I'm not really bothered. If like you've offered it to me, I can apply for it. If you say no, fair dues, I'll go back to doing what I was doing. But again, it's one of these things. An opportunity comes, you just take it and make it up as you go along. So
yeah.
I filled out the forms, documentation and stuff, and I was accepted. So I was like, right, okay. Just when I didn't want to get any busier, I'm fucking busier. But then I thought it's a good thing, you know what I mean? I'm learning. I'm not going there to get the bit of paper at the end of the day. I'm going there to learn subjects and just learn from other people who are apparently experts in those subjects. So learning about business law, learning about economics, learning about marketing, which I think I'm already pretty good at, you know, so far. So it's an education in different subjects, really. I'm just trying to educate myself as much as possible. That's kind of what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Like running a business, starting up a business and running the business. You know, like I'm the same as you. I had no background in this whatsoever, and effectively, you know, my wee brand now, TeapotOne, it is a business, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm treading water in a lake I don't know, you know, and
that's exactly how I felt for so long. I felt the same way. It feels like you're treading water, and it kind of putting it like in bike terms, I guess it's like I've been tuning the bike, like building the bike, tuning the bike, taking it for a few test runs, and now I feel like we're just trying to wheel it out onto the grid and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I feel like I'm kind of understanding the game a bit more now. So the next stage is get staff.
That might be something I should look at myself, actually. Figure out what all this business malark is. So growing the business, taking on some staff. Go from there.
That would be that's the goal so far. I've never had any external investment or anything like that. It's been built with my own money, and I put 300 quid in at the start just to buy ingredients and insurance, like craft insurance and stuff. And it's just been it's been self-funded ever since. So there has been people talking about like offering investment and stuff like that, which I've kind of turned down so far. But as you learn more, it's just. As you say, opportunities open up, so we'll see.
It's hard. It's hard to relinquish sort of control of your baby, isn't it? That's
definitely.
That's what I find.
But as I keep saying, it's like I'm trying to build a business. It was a hobby that turned into a business. Now I'm trying to build. I want it to be here for a long time.
Aye.
Whether I build a business that I hand over to Danny, which might happen, he might not even grow a beard. You know what I mean? So I don't know how it's going to go, but I want it to be here for the long run. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it, and it's, as I keep getting told, it's quite a cool brand. It's different, you know, and it's a way of me giving back to different sports and stuff like that as well. So.
Absolutely, but this is where Braw Beard or Braw Oil comes in, because that opens it up to a whole new market.
That takes it to the next level, mate. That's it.
And you'll only owe Fulcher about 2% for that, since it was his brainwave.
Okay.
Right, John. Awesome, man. I've kept you for nearly an hour and a half here, pal. Apologies if I've ruined your family evening. Me too, man. It's been good chatting with you. Before we go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Anything you want to plug? Feel free. Stage is yours.
Just, but the website is brawbeard.com. We're on all the social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Fuck, we're even on TikTok now, which is kind of scary.
I've just gone on that. What is it all about?
Mate, I know. I went on it, made an account, put a couple of videos up, and I just got stuck in a spiral of watching videos. Like, fuck, I need to get back out here. So, yeah, Instagram is mostly where I'm at, and YouTube, the YouTube channel as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just thanks, man. Thanks for letting me on here and sharing kind of story and stuff. And it's been good having you on the broadcast. Also, we've got the broadcast podcast going weekly as well with Billy.
Awesome.
We do have plans to get the Braw Beard Mustache Championships going again. Hopefully in February, but that depends all on the COVID situation, because although the country is kind of open as it is, I think with everybody mingling, we're going to get restrictions back in. So we plan to make a decision in October if it's going to go ahead or not, because in reality, we can't have a beard competition if people need to wear masks. You know what I mean? You just kind of do it, because you end up with kinks in the beard and stuff like that, and some folk take it serious. So we'll see how that goes. But next time it's on, man, you're welcome. Welcome to come on.
I'd love to. 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. Definitely. Cheers, pal.
Well,
folks, I will put all of John's links down below. So for the website, for all social media, even the TikTok, anything else that you need linked to, just let me know, and I'll put it all in the show notes if you listen to the podcast. If you're watching the video, check out the vid description. Make sure you give us a like, obviously, as well. John, thank you very much for coming on, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Love chatting with you. And thank you very much for sending through the products.
No problem at all. Thank you. Cheers.
All right, mate. You look after yourself, all right? And love to the family.
Thank you very much. See you.
All right, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Keep on doing your thing. Get on out there whenever you can and live your life. Woo-ha! Cheers, dude. Much appreciated, man.